Absolutely, thank you.
Just seconds ago, the president went to Truth Social and typed this. It has been fully agreed by and between Israel and Iran that there will be a complete and total ceasefire. Complete and total ceasefire is what he typed.
Yep.
What does that mean? How did it come about? What's the development here?
Well, we were actually working on that just as I left the White House to come over here. So that's good news that the president was able to get that across the finish line. I think what it means, Brett, is quite simple. First of all, the president, without, knock on wood, having a single American casualty, obliterated the Iranian nuclear program. We are now in a place where we weren't a week ago. A week ago, Iran was very close to having a nuclear weapon. Now, Iran is incapable of building a nuclear weapon with the equipment they have because we destroyed it. So that's a very, very big thing. Now, what that means, I think, is we have to talk to Iran and, of course, to Israel about what the future holds. Because while we have obliterated the Iranian nuclear program, our hope and our expectation is that they're not going to try to rebuild that program. And I think that's what the president is really trying to figure out here, is to build a long-term settlement here to where we can have peace in the region, where our regional allies and, of course, the American people, most importantly, can be secured, but where we can ensure that the destruction of the Iranian nuclear program that has already happened is not something they try to rebuild. And I think the president really hit the reset button and said, look, let's actually produce long-term peace for the region. That's always been his goal. I actually think when we look back, we will say the 12-day war was an important reset moment for the entire region. But here's the question. If Iran is desperate to build a nuclear weapon in the future, then they're going to have to deal with a very, very powerful American military again. And we can destroy whatever nuclear capacity you build up. I think that lesson is what's going to teach them not to rebuild their nuclear capacity.
We've seen a chaotic morning in the Middle East after President Donald Trump announced this tentative ceasefire to end the Iran-Israel war. Now, around 4 a.m. Tehran time, Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi wrote online that if there were no additional Israeli airstrikes targeting the Islamic Republic, that Tehran would stop its attacks on Israel. There's been no acknowledgement of this by Israel, both of Araghchi's comments and Trump's posts online about the tentative ceasefire. But just in the last few minutes, we've had at least 3 barrages of missiles launched by Iran at Israel. Now, it's unclear how this affects the tentative ceasefire that's supposed to fully take hold today. In other rounds of Middle East wars, including those involving Israel, we often see belligerents launch last-minute attacks targeting areas that they wanted to hit in their campaigns. And we haven't still heard from Israel officially from its political class, including Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, where he stands on the Trump proposed ceasefire. This all means that while these attacks are going on, there's still a chance for the ceasefire to take hold, but everything remains incredibly tentative.